Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm at Apex 2017 in San Diego, and I'm joined by Eric Miskell from Charlie Barnhart & Associates. Eric, always good to see you. You spent Monday with a lot of EMS guys telling them what was going to happen to their business. How did they take it?
They took it pretty good. It's always a difficult message to deliver, but it's a necessary message to deliver, right? And they know that coming in. They know that their industry, the luster is off it. It's not as attractive and certainly not as profitable as it used to be. But these are lifetime EMS guys too. The majority of them there were about 50 people in the room?
Yeah.
I don't know how many companies were represented, probably 30 plus. The majority are 100 million or below.
Okay.
These are small EMS. This is Small Business USA, right? But no, I think they were open, they were receptive.
Yeah.
Tried to offer some advice and a look at how we see it and what they need to prepare for.
Yeah, and interesting, that isn't a bad size to be, is it?
I think one of the best sizes to be.
Yeah, for the EMS sector.
I used to tell small ones, if you're small, stay small. Why be big? It just becomes more complicated.
Yeah.
And by the way, small, if you're 10 and you're growing to 30 million, there's still growth, but you still kind of control your future.
Yeah, and it tends to, a lot of their customer relationships tend to be quite unique, very
they're much
collaborative,
stickier.
Much stickier. And often there's a bit more margin in those stickier relationships, so it makes sense. So what were you telling them? What was the overriding picture? What can they expect, and what do they need to do to prepare? Yeah,
so we talked. I began by offering kind of a forecast, a 5-year, how we see the industry going. Beginning this year and moving through about 2021. And the short version of that is that we're going into a period of stagnation, not just EMS, kind of economically, the way we see it. Going into a period of stagnation, there'll probably be, which means lower growth, revenue growth. This year, next year it'll kind of taper down more. Really 2019 is when we see it really dipping though, going probably negative, and then growing back up out of it then, kind of growing out of the ditch. And the reality is during that time we'll lose assets, some companies will just not survive, right? It's also probably be an opportunity for acquisitions, and we'll see some of that. But we will also, I think, come out of it stronger, because I think this industry has always been challenged by overcapacity, too many players, and all the pricing pressures that brings with it. Right? So we told them, it's going to be like this, so prepare for that. And there is opportunities in that time if you kind of prepare for it. And I think they took that well.
Yeah. So you went in with all this information that you shared with them. What additional information did you come out with? What did they teach you? What was the feedback?
Good question. I think most of them struggle with their businesses, but are still, eager to serve their clients well, right? So they are looking at things, and some of the issues we've been talking about on roundtables here about, automation, how to do that, how to control their costs, and yet how to expand their markets in some ways still, right? And what we talked to them about was revenue diversification is a big thing, and they're very receptive on that. The reality is for some of them it's difficult, some of them they're doing it. And we talk about it in terms of not doing traditional EMS work, PCBA, box build, which is probably 70% of the revenue for the industry.
Very me too.
But some of them are going to do that and probably continue to slog through that. Others are already looking at doing some other things, other services that they can do. Not many are doing maybe product type stuff, sub-assemblies. I tried to give an example to them of some companies who are doing that, and just kind of challenge them to say, plan for this, because if you do plan for it,
you'll be a lot better off.
You'll succeed and not be one of the stories of the failed companies that we'll be probably dealing with in the next couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. Some interesting challenges, and as you say, that whole trend of automation is high on their agenda to keep them competitive right now. Fantastic. Well, Eric, thanks for stopping by to chat, and look forward to next time. Thank you.
Always. Thank you.